So I'm Kasia Kaszowska. I've been living in London since, I don't know, it's probably about 15 years or something like that. I came straight after uni. Which I've studied in Poland, so I'm Polish. I probably should have done my UK passport a long time ago, but it's just always the money better spent somewhere else. But yeah, I've been living in lots of interesting spaces. But I guess it's always been a hassle to find affordable and space that is not just a room with a bed, something more. So we've set up Plumtree Housing Cooperative together. So I guess we've been here 2 years as a Plumtree. Yeah. So that would be the same for all of us. And I'm the secretary of Plumtree Housing Cooperative, for better or for worse.
I'm Ricardo. I came into the UK in 2001 and I lived in Kingston from 2001 up to 2017 before I came here. But I had problems in Kingston. I was living in very small rooms and it get more and more expensive. That we had problems where we were living with that house, and then we were made to move quickly. So, because I do live in, so I wasn't at the house. The people who were living there found that for me. So that's how I came here in 2017, January.
Okay. And where are you from originally?
I'm from Zimbabwe.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm Rosalie Malapert. I came from the Philippines. I'm a registered nurse working there in a government hospital. I just want my life to be changed. Yeah. So I came to England because I wanted to work, because my work I cannot refuse not to do the nights. So I said in England I can do that. If I apply a job, I would say I don't do nights. That's the main reason I came to England.
Okay.
So that was August 19, 2009. I came here.
Okay.
Yeah, and I rented a very small room just near there, Burley. Then I realized that maybe I will find something more better and more. Somebody told me it's cheaper. So I came here 2018, March 1. And then we organized later on to make the cooperative. And we work together, we do some charity jobs with our secretary Kasia and Seb, all of us, and we have the unity of doing so. Sometimes I cannot do it all, because of my work. I work in caring job. I am caring for a meningitis baby since he was 1 year old. He will be 8 now.
My name is Diego. I'm from Argentina. And I live in London for 16 years, more or less. And I came here in 2017 to this building. And then, as Kasia said, 2 years ago, we decided that we were capable to run the building. So we created the cooperative. And here we go, making this space our home. It was the idea.
When you become
This building is a church building. There's a church house just down as you come in here. There's a church. There was a priest who was living there. I think he passed away. But this building was given to the council way back, 1967 or 8. So the council then sought somebody to run it, which is this guiding company. And there were different fees that the guardian company was paying certain fee per individual to and then they would be charging us. So that's where we had some challenges.
Yeah, so basically they had management contract to manage it on behalf of Croydon.
So in 2017, when we were here, there were, I think, were you here, Diego?
Yeah.
Yeah. And there were other people who left. So we were paying to a garden company. It varied from the room we are occupying. If it's a small room, it was, I was paying what, $2.99? I can't remember. And then you could move a room, if someone vacates, you can just occupy the room. And they would used to come here to eat. The only problem that period was their inspection. They would come in and you can just get an email, we're coming on Friday. So because I am a carer, I live in carer. So when I'm on my break, I come here and they are knocking. They just one knock and they open the door. And they keep on going, knocking on one door. What is this, inspection or something? And then they open that door with it. It was, anyway, but it was a little bit cheaper. So in 2019, I was abroad. I was in Zimbabwe, and I saw an email saying, they're going to increase rent. And the guardian company, I think, changed. If I'm wrong there, someone can correct me, but I think it changed. When I came in, we paid, and then...
And sorry to interrupt you, they were going to increase rent for the same room.
Yeah, the rent is sometimes increasing. There wasn't any problem there. But there was the one which we had, which I'm not going to mention the name, changed, and because there were issues.
Yeah.
So they changed, and then what made us query was the bank account. I used to have a direct debit because if you are working long hours and complicated hours, you don't want to check, it's rent today, so the direct debit.
It's automatic.
So when they told us that we are going to go into this other guardian company, that's when we realized the bank account was in the Netherlands. That's when we started querying, but I wasn't here that period. Most of the things that happened that period, I was on a placement. When I just got email from cashier and other people to say, there's a problem here. Maybe somebody can take over from there.
I think, there were lots of little issues that we kind of accepted at the beginning because the rent was cheaper, because the space was a bit bigger, because we had a little bit more flexibility. Basically, it was you cannot expect too much from the company, but if you are capable of making place nice for yourself, then you can make it okay. And that was that unspoken deal, I think, for most of us. Yeah, you get cheaper rent, bigger space, but then if something breaks, deal with it. But I think that's the interesting point, that we already knew each other. Maybe not that well, because everyone has their lives and we all have separate rooms. So, but you know your neighbors. So and we lived together for about 3 years with most of the people, maybe. So there was a group of 12 people, I think, something like that. And at this point, we weren't completely happy with it. But when something rolls, you just go on with it, right? But I think that was the point where the company liquidated, and we've realized that it actually should be doing more things, and we saw this opportunity that maybe we don't have to just go along with it, because there is a gap to do something else. And I think we've done a bit of online research, and someone came up with an idea, maybe a housing co-op, so we can just do it. I think that the idea that we can just do it because we are doing it anyway.
Remember, they wanted us out of the building.
At that point, no.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
We're the earlier stages.
That's always the main pressure point, comply or we'll evict you.
Sure. And that's an hugely important part of, I suppose, how you all feel individually and as a group, no? Because they have that kind of power over it to some extent, right? So that's all. I'm imagining that's what they exert as power, right? Or that threat or something.
But that's interesting because that's our only weapon back to stick together. Because as soon as one person says, okay, I'll move out, or they buckle, then you're losing that power. But again, it's difficult because you cannot give anyone any guarantees. So it's difficult to say, no, let's stick together, we'll be fine, because I don't know if we'll be fine, or no one really knows.
We didn't know at that time.
God knows. God knows. But we stick together.
We're
We
still
stick
saying,
together and we work hard together. We even have our training, CCS with Blaze, to qualify ourselves to run the building. Yeah,
yeah.
we make an effort for that.
I think that was really important that we the moment we incorporated, I mean, there's really a couple of things. We stopped being individuals, so we're individuals as well, but then we could put that hat on and say, no, we're organization, we're community, and formally we can represent our rights as one, rather than just individually. But also it meant we gained this support of different organizations that support co-ops, and we discovered there's so many people that are really passionate about it, and suddenly that they were really interested in helping us. I think.
And Kasia is the secretary. She was the one looking for solicitors, because we did at some point, accountants and sponsors. Not that I'm pointing that she did all that by herself, but there are people who were responsible for that. I wasn't one of them, but there were people responsible for looking so that we could have legal advice how to go, because it was so stressful. So when she did that, that's when we had at some point collecting money, because we were like left in the dry. So we're not paying rent, we are not. So, but the garbage has to be collected. So we had to find a private to do that. So we collected money.
Yeah.
What else did we do?
Well, we built a new shower when the
Oh,
old one
yeah.
disintegrated.
Okay.
Little repairs and then really, I think the main project is the library, right? So we've done a bit of plant rescue as well from the building sites.
Okay. And so you incorporate as a co-op, and so what were you asking from this company for them to go, and that you would run your own building? Is that the claim?
And we claim our right to stay in this building. So the company had to leave.
Okay.
So the council finally accept, like a few months ago, that we are in a position to run the building. Now we start the negotiation with the council.
Okay.
But now it's straight away with the council and the co-op. No third party involved.
Okay, wonderful.
Our
Congratulations.
main victory, to be honest. And it's apparently the first case in Croydon. No? Croydon didn't have the experience of doing it, because there are other councils that probably the co-ops is more common, but not in here. They didn't have any previous case to look at. So, and that for me can be very important. No? If the council start understanding that is a possibility, open those buildings. There are so many buildings.
All of us here, we are good people. We care. We care to our environment. We care. We do some charity works. We do care. My mind is on when can we have the answer? Why it is too long for us to wait? I'm just wondering, what's happening? Why? Why can't we, why can't we manage the building? Why can't we run the building? We have no intention of, our intention is clean. We want to rent. We don't want to live forever like this. We are in limbo.
Since we formed this cooperative, it was so stressful that at some point, nearly everyone in their mind wanted to leave. But the cost of living in London, we didn't have enough money for the deposit. I think that's what kept us, but because it was something that if we had money, if we were,
Yeah.
we could have walked away.
Probably,
Because
yeah.
we didn't have the money.
Yeah.
So it's a necessity.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, that's interesting, that separates us perhaps from some other projects that the groups maybe have big ideas, maybe a group of like-minded people. So to a certain extent, yeah, we are like-minded, but we were already here, we were thrown together. So it's like a interesting experiment of pressure cooker, of a democracy, and like interesting how people behave, which people stayed, which people left, and it's like a microscope, like a intense experiment. But I think, yeah, we've done it because we felt we didn't have choice.
And the other thing that kept us here mostly, even if you had some, it was our project or our problem started just almost right into COVID.
Yeah.
So we didn't have another way out. Even if you tried to move, it was just, you couldn't find somewhere to rent. So we're just trapped from the COVID and
From many different sides.
yeah,
So it felt like it was the best possible solution.
Yeah.
Though,
to
without.
just stay.
It was a mix of chance. At some point we saw the opportunity and we went for it. But as you say, it was our home. We needed to live here. No, I mean we needed to live somewhere. And again, alternative living in a housing crisis environment. It make you to see, well, we have to stay here, well, in a healthy environment, and let's go for it.
Yeah. But I think since then, our like at least appetite in a bigger scale got a bit bigger in terms of we're thinking, oh, if we can establish this successfully, maybe other groups can follow the template, can use the work that we've done, and we already had different groups contacting us. Nothing happened yet, but who knows? And I mean, every now and then we get excited. Oh, I mean, in history, it's always like the crisis follows big changes. So we like question ourselves. Oh, is it an opportunity for co-ops and community-led housing for people just take over the reins and just use it and do something.
And with us, the other advantage we had was Kasia was working from home. That time, isn't it? We were not going out. So most of the work if she had a break or she's not working those hours, she doesn't have to travel, wasting another hour back and forth. She would just do it. It was a lot for her to take, but that was the biggest advantage you had. Because she was here, she could see, unlike the rest of us, Diego is here, but he's been working online, so he doesn't have time to look for emails. She would just see the email and then pop it to everyone, and then we see it. Then when we are on our breaks, so it's like she said, you need a platform where immigrants are going to know about how this go. Otherwise, from nowhere, just an immigrant. And when an immigrant is dealing with so many issues that you won't even,
But I think, I mean, for me, ideally, you live in a co-op and you pay cheaper rent, and it means you don't have to work maybe 40 hours a week, but then you have mental space and this willingness to participate on whatever is happening in the co-op. Because as principle, it's all done voluntarily, so you need people to contribute, even make decisions like what's happening with the little things and the big things. So I think, I'm sure it's not possible in every single case, but it would be nice if people had that financial flexibility as well to say, oh, Fridays I'm not working and then I can sleep through, and then Saturday I'm quite up for doing things. That'd be nice. Yeah, no, it's interesting because like before housing was just for me something to sort out and be somewhere, but through this process I feel like I was never really interested in politics, but now it felt like it was me, so I try to say, yeah, a little bit more.
Well, it is the only way in politics to change something.
I don't know, I don't believe in politics. Yeah, for me, I see it like a sort of, I don't want to use labels, but like a rebellion to people like, I know we pay tax and the government should sort it, should they? But it's waiting for it, whether they go along with this idea or whether it will ever be on the agenda, it's exhausting. So I'm much more like, like self-help basically, let's just do it. And it's too bad they're not going to fund us or help us, but if they don't interact, that's half good. And the same with the energies, like, let's just create local energy banks and we'll not wait till they decide, okay, we're not going to use fossil fuel anymore, or like maybe we'll create some funding for solar panels or other things. It's just too slow. And the interest is just like too entangled, the process like too obscured, and it feels more real and raw and.
But then the other problems with it is if you try to separate yourself from politics, the other problem, there are things which, like what you're saying about energy or other things, but things like how we live, things we can change ourselves. For me, I wouldn't want to get into politics on that, but you'll still be drawn into politics because the tax is being taken, this, and then there's nothing happening. That's how we got drawn in, but otherwise I think we'll agree with you, do the co-op, not involved, the government is involved in a way, but we are doing our thing.
Yeah.
But then you can't run away from, because the interest is...
I'm like you really. Where it's at, I get you.
But it gets frustrating. If they're not helping, should they just at least get out of the way? Or we'll look after it. So it ensures whatever happens, it goes this in principle short life co-op. So whatever happens with this building or this site in the future, we ensure it's safe and it's not going to fall apart and nothing dangerous will happen here. And as a bonus, we'll integrate with local community and do different workshops and different events. So I mean.
So you're giving them, it's a kind of give and take, no?
This is our intention, that was from the very beginning.
And you
to
keep...
with the community, to share with the community our skills or project or workshop, open the building for some events that we've done.
I think in principle we would manage their building for them. So it's they'll get a little bit of money from us, but we will take care of all the day-to-day maintenance, make sure it's occupied, and this way it's secured. So it prevents anyone breaking in, graffitiing it, or breaking the windows.
Squatting.
Yes, basically that, and it saves them boarding it up, and it's being used. You use water and heating. And you make sure if anything goes wrong, you're here to notice it and to prevent it. So otherwise, this building will be empty, and that's basically our model, saying if the empty buildings that perhaps will be developed in the future, in the meantime they could provide housing.
And you're offering things to the community as well, like in terms of the neighborhood. Is there some kind of offer or agreement that you will do activities that you contribute to the community, say, in particular ways?
There's no agreement, but that's something we've been doing, right?
Yeah. We've been planting flowers. I wasn't here most of the time, but you did some community work.
Well, you've been at the library. Everyone has been there at some point.
What I'm trying to say is someone who was around can maybe, remember some of the places you went, because remember the time when the children came here.
Yeah.
I wasn't here, only saw pictures.
Yeah, so we started a little cooperation with local scouts group. So last summer we had sessions every week, and basically we went around green spaces in Pelly town centre and cleaned them up with them, and then they came here to our garden, and seeded some plants and take them home to grow them a bit bigger. Then we planted them at the library and Pelly Cross. So that was a very interesting project, interacting with the youth. But the Pelly Library project is ongoing, so we got funding to buy plants from the nursery as well and create new planting beds, and that was a community day with some volunteers, with people from the co-op and the Scouts and Scouts family, and also people who just interested in making that little green square a little bit pretty. And it's amazing how much difference it actually makes to people. And they've noticed that. It's just a couple of plants, but it's someone comes and look after it, and I think that started also in COVID, so people appreciate that something is happening and there's a place to be and be outdoor, and Pelly doesn't have that much green spaces, so it's nice that it was looked after.
And then on top of all what Kasia said, the council is still getting almost the same amount per person per week as they were getting from the garden company. And when we are managing, we've been granted to manage the building, the building is all done. We will be doing the boilers and the doors, and on top of that, which the councils or even the garden company wasn't doing, the company wasn't. So
they're getting more.
Yeah.
They're getting a lot more.
Yeah, because the amount we will be collecting. Unlike the garden company, they're collecting, putting in their bank. We will be collecting
and putting to the community and to the building.
Yes.
It's both.
Yeah.
I think you're contributing to both of these sides of things.
I guess the rent part we can control because we decide how much rent we pay, but then, like you said, we have all those things to pay. So
we'll be like figuring out the various things and setting.
Yeah, which is an interesting aspect, because in that scenario you are your own landlord and you are the tenant of the residence. So it's like fighting to, I don't want to pay that much, but we have to pay for this. Yeah, but definitely I think like even offering a community connection or offering the space for some workshops, creating those connections, that's something, I know, first we need somewhere to live and something to eat and somewhere to sleep, but then all those higher needs, maybe that's something we could tap into. It's an interesting question. I think, possibly more open, because we're coming to a foreign country, which doesn't really feel that foreign after a while, right? But you're possibly open to alternative solutions. I don't know, I've been always like renting from a friend or like living in funny spaces, but in a way because you don't have that, support of family house. I mean, many British people don't have it either coming to capital, but also you can be just thrown into deep end. That's something I guess we've chosen. That was exciting to a point, but scary as well. So I think it possibly widened our horizons. I think being from somewhere else originally.
And I think as well maybe our maturity, because we are not one. In our group, we are fairly mature. Probably that's what because I don't think if we were in our early 20s, all of us, we could stand the pressure. I don't know.
Maybe.
Because we only have one English guy, Ted. The others, we are from all different countries. But I think that made it more, to make us a little bit more, because if you are coming from a different country, we do have cousins and friends, but you can't in this country to go and live with that person. I think the pressure of coming from outside made us just keep on going.
Like you don't have that, I think what you're both speaking to something about, like you don't have this kind of safety net, what they call, like that fallback position, that if something totally goes wrong, like you'll just go and find that, because it's like you're on your own now.
Yes, that's something that, but it's interesting that you're saying, oh, we're more mature, but also potentially that being not from here could make us more vulnerable to like pressure from the company or move out, and because you don't know exactly your rights or legal system. But like you said, because we've been around the block, so we're like, nah, that's not happening. But I mean, I think for me, because I guess London is specific. So one of the things I loved London, like living where I moved here, because not necessarily because of England, but because of the multinational community and like all the different people you can meet. So this is like a little bit sampled from the city.
Because there's from people from different trades. Ted was in the army and he is good at the gardening and all that. And Kasia, that's Ted.
Yeah.
Kasia is Kasia is for the gardening and the flowers and the front. You know, others will do something inside.
Yeah, Eve is very good with numbers, so she'll spot if we have mistake in our accounts.
So that's the advantage we had. Otherwise, it was going to work, but not the way it is. It happened to me because we had people and serve, and other people. Serve is good at ordering. You know, when we were doing the shower, instead and said,
both construction experience, so that's very handy. You can fix things, and because otherwise that could end up being very pricey, or you don't know what you need. So.
In our case, because it's a bit different in the sense that we started with the team that we had. Like we said, okay, let's meet all migrants together, blah, blah, blah. So we were here, and they said, well, team up,
Living here for me, I'm happy here, as if we are family. Nice surroundings and clean. I always offer, I am always offered when my boss to stay in the house that I should always come home. For me, it is home.
Like what Rose said, because we've been together for quite a while now, for some of us 4 years, so we're getting used to each other, we know each other, and this place has felt like home for us, because we had gone through all this struggle together. After when the contract was signed, we all just couldn't believe it. Oh, at least now the contract is here. But we all feel like it's home because it's a big space, there's a lot of, nature around us. So it feels more like a home, like I know it's not the best home, the best house, but there's a lot of space. I think because the building is big and we have each way with your room and then another storage next to you. So we sort of are not into each other's spaces because the building is big. I think that's why, but we all feel at home because we do disagree in meetings, but not in outside the meeting, but in meetings we can disagree to agree. But living, we've never had problems amongst the people in the co-op.
You are interested in migration for a migrant called this is our home. It's more meaningful, right?
Completely.
Because it's double home, no? Home
to find that kind of sense of home, right? That emotional kind of connection.
Exactly. So this is the wonderful thing of our story, I would say.
Absolutely.
Because if we decide to sort of leave today and go to rent one room in someone's house, we've lived here for 4 years together, it will be very tricky because here you can walk around, it's homely, you can park anywhere, you just talk to them. But if you are going to move and go and rent Wednesdays we are told we have to do this. If you wash, because here we understand each other. If I am in a hurry, I have a Rose in a hurry, she goes to work, and the cooker she's left. I just don't ask because I know Roses. I just clean it. But if I happen to go and rent into somebody's house from here, it's going to be
New rules. New regime.